Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari. Yeshodanandana Brajajanaranjana, Yeshodanandana Brajajanaranjana, Yeshodanandana Brajajanaranjana, Yeshodanandana Brajajanaranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Jaya Shri Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Radha Bharinishwara, Radha Bharinishwara Radhe, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Sudarshana, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jai Vishnupad Brahmam Sapravrajagacharya Stotra Sada. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki. Jai Vishnupad Brahmam Sapravrajagacharya Stotra Sada. His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Maharaj ki. Ananta Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda ki. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki. Madhura Vrindavan Dham ki. Mayapur Navadip Dham ki. Gangamai Jumunamai ki. Bhakti Devi ki. Tulasi Maharani ki. Samaved Bhakta Vrinda ki. Haridam Sankirtan ki. Haridam Sankirtan Mahayajna ki. Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So I thank wonderful devotees who are assembled here today for Srimad, listening to Srimad Bhagavatam class. And also I thank the temple management and the temple president for giving this opportunity to try to glorify Srimad Bhagavatam. So we'll start with the Manklacharan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jaya Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Lingayate Girim Yet Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Part 1, Chapter 1, verses today we are going to discuss is from text 64 to text 66. That's the end. So what we'll do, I will read 64 and 65, and then 66 we will all read together. Text number 64. Tebhyo dadara kanye dve vayunam dharinam svadha ubhedhe brahmavadinyau jnana vijnana parage. Translation. Swada, who was offered to the Pitas, begot two daughters named Vayuna and Dharini. Both of them were impersonalists and were expert in transcendental Vedic knowledge. Text 65. Bhavasya patni tu sati bhavam devam manuvrita Atmana sadrisham putram nalebhe gunashilataha. Translation. The 16th daughter, whose name was Sati, was the wife of Lord Shiva. She could not produce a child, although she always faithfully engaged in the service of her husband. And text 66. Pitarya pratirupe swe Pitarya pratirupe swe Bhavaya nangaserusha Bhavaya nangaserusha Apraudhevatmanatmanam Apraudhevatmanatmanam Ajahat yoga samyuta Ajagat yoga samyuta Pitarye aprati rupe swe Bhavayanangaserusha Apraidevatmanatmanam Ajahat yoga samyuta. Pitarya pratirupe swe Apraudaivatmanatmanam Ajahat yoga samyuta. Pitarye pratirupe swe Apraudaivatmanatmanam Ajahat yoga samyuta. Matajis. Pidaryat pratirupe swe Bhavayananga serusha Apraudaivatmanatmanam Ajahat yoga samyuta Pitarye pratirupe swe Bhavayananga serusha Apraudhevatmanatmanam Ajahat yoga samyuta. Translation. The reason is that Sati's father Daksha used to rebuke Lord Shiva in spite of Shiva's faultlessness. Consequently, before attaining a mature stage, Sati gave up her body by dint of yogic mystic power. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Lord Shiva, being the head of all mystic yogis, never even constructed a home for his residence. Sati was the daughter of a great king Daksha, and because his youngest daughter Sati selected as her husband Lord Shiva, King Daksha was not very much satisfied with her. Therefore, whenever she met her father, he unnecessarily criticized her husband, although Lord Shiva was faultless. Because of this, before attaining a mature age, Sati gave up the body given by her father, Daksha, and therefore she could not produce a child. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of 4th canto, 1st chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Genealogical Table of the Daughters of Manu. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Salakya Chakshurnamlitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutali Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Guruvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are continuing the story of the daughters of Manu, and towards the end we have come, wherein which in 64 it is mentioned that one of the daughters was Swadha, who was offered to the Pitas. We got two daughters named Vayuna and Dharini, both of whom were impersonalists and were expert in traditional and Vedic knowledge. So incidentally, Prabhupada, I was searching for one of the stories from Brahma Vaivarta Purana, because Srila Prabhupada, he mentioned something about Shukadeva Goswami, and he referenced that to Brahma Vaivarta Purana, telling that in Brahma Vaivarta Purana there is a story about that. So when I start reading that to find out this story, I came across the name Swadha there. Swadha, who was actually the daughter of Manu, who was offered. And the part was a little interesting, so I thought I'll just share that pastime here. We all know about Swaha, right? Who is Swaha? Agni's daughter, Agni's wife. So Swadha is offered to Pitas. So it is mentioned that if when any offering or oblations we make to the Pitrus, that is taken by Swadha. And there is a story also mentioned there. During the beginning of creation, what happened was that Brahma invited all the Devi Devatas. He invited from them for a prasadam. It's a meal he organized, asked them to partake. And when he invited them, they went and complained to Lord Brahma, telling that we are not receiving the offerings. So Brahma immediately called Lord Vishnu and said, the Devas are not getting their offerings. So Vishnu said, okay, you go and pray to Devi. Okay, and when Devi is satisfied, she will make an arrangements for offerings. So immediately they all went and prayed to Devi, and Devi said, okay, there is a feminine Devi, goddess is created by name of Swaha, and when you offer oblations with the name of Swaha, then only Devatas will get. Okay, so this is how Swaha came into being. And again, little later, when he started the creation of Pitrus, Pitrus also went and complained, see, we are not getting the offerings. So at that point of time, Brahma created another feminine goddesses as per Brahmavairtha Purana. He says that when you offer Pinda or Tarpanam to the Pitrus, if you don't invoke the name of Swadha, it will not reach them. So it will be received only when the name is being named. The name is called out, Swadha. She takes the offering and then gives it to the Pitrus. So incidentally, if you see here, Swadha was offered to Pitrus. We got two daughters named Vayuna and Dharani. Both of them were impersonalist. So in there is one more thing which is mentioned in connection with the goddess. They were telling that all these Devis, there were 5 principal Devis are mentioned. They're all Prakriti. Okay, Prakriti means the best of the creation. Pra means best of the creation. And knowingly or unknowingly, if you behave badly to the Prakriti, in the form of Devi or in the form of a living entity, then you will have sinful reactions. So this itself shows that in the scriptures, the Devis and Matajis are held in high esteem. Okay, knowingly or unknowingly, you try to offend them. Knowingly or unknowingly, you try to, give pain to them, there will be repercussions. So that's why in Brahmavairtha Purana it says that, you make sure these Devis are not offended. So Swaha is to Agni, Dakshina is to Yajna, Swadha is to Pritus, and for Vayu to Swasti. So this was during the early stages of creation. Incidentally, you should know that Brahmavairtha Purana is one Purana which talks more about Srimati Radharani and Krishna. There it clearly says that the Param Purusha is Krishna and the creation start with Krishna. Anyway, now we'll move on to this particular translation. It is mentioned that they both were impersonalist and were expert in transcendental and Vedic knowledge. So impersonal is nothing new for Sanatana Dharma. Okay, so there is a statement by one of the devotees who mentioned that those who are expert in transcendental realization, but they are not actually devotees. For them, they will not be able to see Krishna. They will see only the Brahma Jyoti. Okay. So if you have bhakti, then you will be able to see through the Brahma Jyoti and Krishna. So incidentally, I just want to touch upon a few points about impersonalism. Not the philosophy of impersonalism, because we all know about philosophy of impersonalism. Impersonal is more perverted in our daily life than just the philosophy. How is it perverted in our daily life? When Srila Prabhupada went to US, you know this pastime, Prabhupada, every time he talk about impersonalism. And devotees were wondering why Prabhupada is having so much, he's so against impersonalist. Might be some of the devotees were telling, probably because, Prabhupada had some bad experiences with the impersonalist. He was with them and they created some trouble for Srila Prabhupada. But it is not that. Over a period of time, the devotees understood impersonalism, and Prabhupada was mentioned, he was considered, the devotees who were present there, actually they were the impersonalists. What is that practical impersonalism which we see around us? Other day, Sumudra Prabhu was giving a call and he was telling me, I don't want to be impersonalist, let me have some personalism so that, Instead of sending WhatsApp messages, it is good to speak. There is a personalism, right? What are the practical impersonalism which we see in our daily life? Now is the world of technology, automation. Okay, there is one lecture by His Grace Radhika Raman Prabhu. He says in this lecture about something very wonderful: impersonalism in our daily life. We are going to an era in which technology is everywhere, right? Talk about automation, talk about artificial intelligence, talk about technology. Anything you talk about technology is a what? It is actually impersonalism in disguise. You know why? Think about a situation in which, you are depending on AI for everything. You have some query. What you will do? First you go to Google, right? Now people are changing. They are not going to Google. They will go to ChatGPT. Why? What does it signify? It is advantageous for us that in a second we will get the answer. But what is the loss which we are getting? What is that which you are missing at this point of time? It's not thinking. Yes. So, previously when you had any query, where will you go? Senior devotees. Okay? Our Shiksha Gurus or somebody. But now because of this AI and technological advantage, you cut that connection and then you are approaching something which bars us giving a connection. Never ever it is mentioned that you will get bhakti, or you will get understanding just by approaching Srimad Bhagavatam directly or by explanation given by others, right? Not through tika, not even given by different purports. The connection is established when we interact with the devotees. Otherwise, it's not there. And Prabhu is actually giving an example of home automation. Now it's a craze, right? What is home automation? When you come inside the house, okay, you touch the doorknob. The doorknob understand what is the temperature because there's a sensor there. Okay? And with the doorknob immediately understands, oh, temperature is a little high. This means you have little fever. So what it does, it immediately boils the coffee. It also send a message to the pharmacy to buy this medicines and bring it. Okay? Wonderful, right? Switch off the AC, increase the heating, temperature is adjusted. What does it mean? On one end you find it is wonderful. Things are getting better. But in the other end, what does it mean? I didn't understand. Awful. Why is it awful, Prabhu? There is nobody to take care of you at home. Somebody comes you and touch, oh, your wife or your brother or sister comes and touch you and says, your temperature is a little high. So this is one way the impersonalism is spread all through our life. The more and more technologically you are entangled in that web, including internet, the more and more we are away from devotees. The more and more we are away from the personal touch. You remember Srila Prabhupada when he was in US, he was with Dr. Mishra. What is his name? Dr. Mishra, right? Where the yoga guru. And then Dr. Mishra will give all these impersonalist ideas. And Srila Prabhupada, whenever he gets an opportunity, he sits and then he blasts. So Dr. Mishra understood that I should not allow Swamiji to speak. He said, no. Henceforth, he said, Swamiji, you cannot speak. You can only give what? Kirtan. Okay. So, in 1972, I don't remember exactly, so many devotees went for, now you know something great is happening in India, right? Kumbh Mela. So they went for Kumbh Mela, and some of our sannyasi disciples of Srila Prabhupada was actually there. And when they saw, then there was one Naga sannyasi, and this Naga sannyasi was actually a foreigner who used to attend the class of Dr. Mishra. And then he is a white-bodied person, but he was completely naked and Naga. He had some 800,000 disciples. So he saw some of the sannyasis standing close by, and he pulled them. He said, "You are related to A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada?" And they said, "Yes, we are the disciples of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada." He said, "I was part of Dr. Mishra's group when Dr. Mishra was giving the yoga classes and talking to them about the impersonalism." He said, "I was there." And Dr. Mishra, he stopped Srila Prabhupada, Swamiji, from giving lectures. But when they personally meet Srila Prabhupada used to say that this person is bogus. He is giving something which is not really part of the scriptures. This person is giving trash. Srila Prabhupada was, even during the first time when Srila Prabhupada, he wrote that poem for glorification of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he mentioned specifically, right? He mentioned impersonal calamity thou hast removed. So from that point itself, Srila Prabhupada was against this. But when Mishra was really sick, you know what Srila Prabhupada did? Prabhupada never thought that this guy is an impersonalist. He personally nursed him. He cooked him. He gave prasadam. Continuously Srila Prabhupada was feeding him for a couple of days. And Mishra used to say that even though he doesn't like my philosophy, he is taking care of nicely. What is that? You are against the philosophy of impersonalism, but personally you are still connected. This is how Srila Prabhupada used the philosophy aspect of impersonalism and the personal aspect. So, impersonalism means what? There is no personal touch. Okay, it's completely, you are away from whether it is Krishna, whether it is the devotees. What is the opposite of impersonalism? What do you mean by love? What is the opposite of love? Hate? Is it hate really? What do you think about indifference? Which think about husband or wife? Okay. When it pains more, when you fight, when you hate each other, or when you stop talking to each other? Yeah, this is higher, right? You can't bear that, right? Stop talking is like indifference. Indifference to others. Impersonalism is also that indifference. There is no love. And in impersonalism, there is no reciprocation because everything is one. If everything is one, how can I reciprocate? Can I reciprocate to myself? Oh, very kind of you. We can't do that, right? This is not possible. So, personalism is simply the opposite. So, we can understand this personalism, we can bring the personalism around us. Now, most of us, okay, I will not say most of us, few of us will have this impersonal mentality. Whether it is coming to the temple and meeting the Lord, okay, if we are not happy seeing the deity of the Lord, if we don't personally understand this person who is standing there is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then we still carry that impersonalist tendencies within us. So, seeing the Lord. That is why scriptures, when they talk about sadhana bhakti, they have kept so many rules and regulations, right? Before going to the altar, a pujari, what does he do? He is supposed to do so many mantras, right? He is to chant. He has to, then when the Lord is the deity form, first of all, what he has to do? He has to invite, idam asanam, you please come and sit. Okay. And then you give Achamaniyam. Okay. Arkyam, everything is given. Why is this process given? To understand this deity which is here is a person. Yeah. So all the rules and regulations of the sadhana bhakti is created so that it will create a feeling within us that we are relating to a person. And what about the name? How do we relate to the name? We know name is non-different from Krishna. Think about an instance. Krishna is coming to your friend. He is coming and going to bless you. How would be your feeling? You'll be happy, right? But name is non-different from Krishna. How do you welcome the name? Yeah, name is like there was one instance that I think Giriraj Swami Maharaj, okay, one visitor came to visit Giriraj Swami Maharaj, and Maharaj was actually chanting. I think it's Giriraj Swami Maharaj in Juhu. So, and the devotee disciple came and informed Maharaj that there is a VIP who has come, so he want to meet you. And he said, right now I am busy. He informed him that I will meet him after half an hour. And then immediately that devotee said, but you are only chanting. You are only chanting, right? He said, yes, I am chanting. Chanting means what? I am completely giving my time to Krishna. This is the time I am to associate with Krishna through the names. Okay. So if I don't have a relationship, that is why Mahatma Prabhu has created all the affirmations so that we will also create that mentality within ourselves that name is non-different from Krishna, and we should have a personal relationship with Krishna because name is also non-different from Krishna. So every moment when we are going and taking the name of Krishna, you should also have that relationship. Oh, I am going to have this relationship with Krishna. And who is Krishna? The wonderful Supreme Personality of Godhead who can attract everyone. Right? Krishna attracts everyone. And I am going to associate with that person who is Bhakta Valsala. So you remember all the qualities of Krishna, that qualities are present in the name. All the potencies, anyway, we know that. We know, for example, we all know why should we do exercise regularly. We all know that why should you take good prasadam. We should know how to curtail sense enjoyment. We all know that clearly, but it's always good to have another instance of going through that and revisiting that thought. So that is why we say that the mother of all offenses is what? Inattentive chanting. This is the mother of all offenses. If our chanting is not personal, if our chanting is inattentive, then that means you are equal to doing all the other offenses because it's not different from Krishna. So the greatest problem for every aspiring devotee and sadhaka is to bring the personal relationship with everything around him when it comes to devotion. Starting with the name, starting with the deities, starting with the devotees. So this is the way. And then what happens? There was one question when one devotee was asking other devotees, how long you have been chanting? And he said, somebody said 10 years, 15 years. Okay. What do you feel when you chant? What do you feel once you finish your chanting? And then one devotee said, I have been chanting for a long time. I never thought there could be a feeling when you do chanting or when you finish chanting. And incidentally, another devotee who was very, very particular in chanting, he said, after chanting, I feel so much love and gratitude. Love and gratitude towards whom? Towards Krishna. So last week I was telling our youth about the pastime of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has made it very easy for us in this age of Kali, simply by chanting the name. And what will happen when you chant the name of the Lord? Love of Godhead will awaken. And Srila Prabhupada says in one of the purport, I think 2nd canto, 3rd chapter, 24th verse, he says, when you start chanting, the love of Godhead will automatically come. That is for sure. And this is the beginning stage of bhakti. You become raga. You will have bhava towards the Lord, which is the beginning stages of bhakti. So I was, when I saw that written there, I was wondering, if it is available in the beginning stages of bhakti, why is that I am not getting it? During Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, even Mlechas, when they used to chant the name of the Lord, they couldn't stop chanting. They were able to chant continuously. How are you able to chant continuously? When you have so much attraction towards the Lord, when you have so much attraction towards the holy name. But how come the Mlechas during that time, when they get a little association with the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were able to chant continuously? And then, I am here for quite some time chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given. And the mercy is increasing. We feel that I missed the boat during the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But the mercy increases when it comes down to parampara, right? The mercy which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave, it doubled when it came to the next parampara, next generation. So every generation it is getting doubled. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was very strict, right? Think about Prabhupada. He is very lenient, right? Considering that. And then to the next generation. So the mercy is increasing. So in spite of the mercy being increased, why we are not able to access the fruits which has been mentioned? Simply by giving oral reciprocation to the Srimad Bhagavatam, what happens? Krishna is situated, captured in the heart. How long we are listening to Srimad Bhagavatam? Probably daily, I know, most of us. I'm just giving my example so that I think there is something wrong. I've been listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, I've been reading Srimad Bhagavatam, I've been chanting, but still, as Prabhupada says, that beginning stages of bhava has not awakened. What could be the root cause? I want you to be the doctors. No, we have doctors and we have spiritual doctors here. No? All of you are spiritual doctors. What could be the reason? In spite of chanting for a long time, in spite of doing devotional service, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, associating with devotees, associating with pure devotees. Okay, this was my another doubt. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it was mentioned that the three most powerful, potent thing in bhakti is three things, right? Teen bala. One is so three things. The pure devotees, uchishta, the dust from the lotus feet of the pure devotee, and bhakta padajala. Three things. And I got all the three things in my life. Okay, during the beginning stage of bhakti. So I went and asked my Shiksha Guru, Prabhu, see, it is mentioned that Chaitanya Charitamrita said this is the three most potent thing. Still, I don't feel that this bhakti has come inside. I don't feel that bhava. I don't feel that ecstasy. What could be wrong? And if you look at, if you do Vrindavan Parikrama, you get this benefit. If you take one dip in Radha Kunda, you will definitely go back to Krishna. You get Krishna Prema. I have done all these things. Huh? What could be wrong? Huh? Proud? Okay. Pardon, Prabhu? Not sincere? Absolutely, yes. Connection? Connection is there, no? Like, Guru Parampara connection is there, at least not directly. Yeah, Shailesh. Huh? Faith, I will definitely say we will have at least little bit. You know why? The moment you don't have faith, you don't come to the temple. So little bit faith is still there, no? Beginning stage is there. What could be the reason? Pardon, Prabhu? Switch it or not on means there is no connection. Okay. Okay, Prabhu. Understood the point. Thank you so much, Prabhu. If you look at one of the purport of Srila Prabhupada, I forgot which purport, he says, in spite of chanting for so many years, if you are not getting that bhava is not arising in you, this is because of offenses. Okay. He says this has been corroborated by Jiva Goswami in his Sandarbha. So if you look at the pastime of Sati and Lord Shiva, the reason is that Sati's father Daksha used to rebuke Lord Shiva in spite of Shiva's faultlessness. Consequently, before attaining a mature stage, Sati gave up her body by dint of yogic mystic powers. Who is Lord Shiva? In one of the purports, Srila Prabhupada says that in 9th canto, who was that person who bought Ganga? Bhagirath. So Bhagirath tells to Ganga Devi, this person, when you fall down from the upper planetary system, Lord Shiva can hold you because he is the father of the universe. He represents the Paramatma. So, when Krishna also says that Pitahamasya Jagato Mada Tada Vidamahyam, he says actually Lord Shiva is the actual father of this universe. Right? Because Krishna doesn't directly touch the material universe. Krishna touches the material universe through Lord Shiva, who is his expansion. So, what happened was that Daksha used to rebuke Lord Shiva, who is a Supreme Personality himself, right? Who is the father of the universe. And wonderful quality of Lord Shiva is that he gives shelter to those who have been neglected by the society, Bhutaganas, as well as Vaishnavas, right? He gives shelter to both. Can you imagine one person who is not interested in nectar, but whenever you are in trouble, he is ready to take poison? Can you imagine one person like that? Which Vaishnava can do that? So only one person is there, right? Nobody else is there. That is Lord Shiva. So, because he offended Lord Shiva, Daksha offended Lord Shiva, he fell down from his position. Okay. So, the only option when you have an offense, when you commit an offense, is to beg for pardon. What if I don't beg pardon? What happens to me? And the biggest offense we know is Vaishnava Aparadha as per the scriptures. What will happen if I don't ask for forgiveness? Huh? Yeah, we will lose the taste for chanting. So I heard one of the God brothers of Srila Prabhupada, he was making this point. The moment you offend a Vaishnava, you will lose bhakti. Why is that we lose the bhakti? So sin, where does the sin affect? Does it affect the body when you do sin? Yeah, right. Does it affect the subtle body when you do sin? Yeah, it affects the subtle body, because sin, if you do a sin, the reaction will come in some other lifetime. So that is there in the subtle body. Where does offense affect? Offense affects the soul. So if offense affects the soul, we should be more careful on offense than the sin, right? Why? Because sin very easily you can remove, but offense you can't remove it, because it's affecting the soul. In one way, since the soul is eternal, the offense will not be eternal. Okay, so scripture says that even if you do an offense, it will be there for some 84,000 lifetimes only. 84,000 lifetimes you will have to suffer for the sin. Sorry, not the sin, offense. And what is an offense? So you are looking at me at this point of time, understanding why I am not advancing in Krishna consciousness. So you should look and see what is the problem. What is that I am doing which is creating the offense? What could be one reason? Pardon? Offense. Okay, false ego. Offense and false ego. False ego that I am a greater devotee. Okay, that is one. Yes. What else? Pride. Yes. Unless you feel you are higher than the other person, you cannot commit Vaishnava Aparadha. Okay. So how can I commit Vaishnava Aparadha? Many ways. One of the simplest way, incidentally, His Honorable Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, he was mentioning that when Prabhupada was inaugurating this Sankirtan ISKCON was expanding very nicely, very fast. But over a period of time, we are not expanding the way Srila Prabhupada created the expansion. The rate of expansion died down. You know what is the reason? That point when they were new, the devotees were less, and they didn't have the scope of committing Vaishnava Aparadha. But when we expanded, you get more scope of committing Vaishnava Aparadha. And Guru Maharaj, he says, simplest thing is that you see a Vaishnava wearing 2 different colored socks. And then in your mind you think, what kind of a Vaishnava is this, who is wearing 2 different colored socks? He says, done. So when I heard that, I understood the reason why I am not advancing in Krishna consciousness is that I am looking around Vaishnavas and trying to judge them. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is ready to give everything, highest Krishna prema, but he kept one but there, right? What is the but? You should not commit offenses. The moment you commit offenses, it can be removed simply by chanting continuously. One way is that you should chant continuously 24 hours a day. Then you can stop the offenses. Secondly, you need to beg forgiveness. And if you don't do, then you have to go to the hellish condition for 84,000 years of Janmas. So this offense is actually something very, very significant in our life. So knowingly or unknowingly, we always commit something which hurt or hurt others, even though it's not. So what happens if you look at in the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what happens when you commit an offense to a neophyte devotee? Who is the neophyte devotee? Who has once chanted the holy name of Krishna, right? Who has once chanted the holy name of Krishna? So he is a neophyte devotee. So even committing an offense against a neophyte devotee is actually a grave offense. So the situation is very tricky. One time, one disciple went and asked His Holiness Gaurgavanda Maharaj, if you are in prema stage and you commit an offense, what will happen? We are in prema stage. We are not in bhava. We are higher than that. We are in prema stage. And Maharaj said, even if you are in prema stage, you will fall down if you commit an offense, Vaishnaparada. So if you remember the past time in you heard about the story of Rupa Kaviraj? There is a grand disciple of Narottam Das Thakur. His name was Rupa Kaviraj. Heard about his pastime? No? Okay. So Rupa Kaviraj was actually a wonderful devotee who was trained by his guru Ganganarayana Chakravarti, if I am not wrong. And he quickly advanced very nicely. He was serving his guru continuously. And then Guru gave further instruction. Then as per instruction, he went to Vrindavan. He started studying under the devotees there. And he learned all the scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam. And he had the spiritual realization. He could see the pastimes of Krishna. Such an elevated stage. But then there was another disciple of grand, I forgot the name of that devotee, but Priya Thakurani, I think Priya Thakurani. She was a wonderful Vaishnavi, and she used to always chant the name of Krishna. The Govardhan Shila, which the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave to Raghunath Das, she was actually worshipping the Govardhan Shila. And she was interested to hear from Rupa Kaviraj when he came. But the problem was that when she sit in Srimad Bhagavatam class also, she couldn't stop chanting. So Rupa Kaviraj, he was actually, this is a signal for me to stop. Okay. So Rupa Kaviraj, he didn't like that she was chanting in the class. Usually you are not supposed to do that, it is an offense. So immediately he ridiculed this Mataji. He said, how can you do two things at a time? Chanting and at the same time listening to Srimad Bhagavatam. And then she humbly said, I'm sorry, I want to stop chanting, but I can't. My tongue automatically chants and I can't stop it. And in that class, he actually rebuked her. And you know what happened? He fell down. He was in prema stage, and then he fell down. He immediately lost his vision of the pastime, seeing the pastime. And then he tried to come back to his guru. Guru left him, and he was turned out from the society. So this is an offense. So looking at this pastimes, I understand. Now I realize that the gravity of the offense which I have committed. So I request all the devotees, I prayed at the lotus feet of all the devotees assembled here, and who are not assembled here, who I knowingly and unknowingly offended, either do with my words, with my thoughts, or probably physically. So I beg forgiveness from all of you, and I also request you to bless me so that I also can come out of this offense. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Tatai Gaur Premanandi.
Hare Krishna. Any question?
Sorry, any questions? Any additions? So, Nityananda Prabhu, he mentioned one thing. Suppose there is a thorn which pricks your feet, okay, and it is paining because the thorn is inside you. How will you take out the thorn? Can I take out the thorn from my hands? No. I cannot take out the thorn from any part of my body. I have to take out the thorn from the place where it went inside. Till that time the pain is there. So it is on the best interest of us to mentally ask for forgiveness first, and then when you are mentally fine with the devotee, for example, everything is stored where? It's in our mind, right? So we don't have the courage because we may understand that he may respond in a different way, or you will have to ask for forgiveness, the incident you have to mention, we don't have the courage. But mentally you can start asking for forgiveness, and over a period of time, when that contamination goes out, then you will have the courage to go and tell him that. I also have this with me. I want to. So what I do, whenever I think that, this is an offense, I mentally, I pay. I said, please forgive me. I have committed this offense. Please help me out. There itself, there will be a little change. But you can, like what Sachi Mata did, you can, even though you don't physically say and repeat that offense, you can just go and take his dust from his lotus feet. He will not know. So it is not the devotee has taken offense. The offense is taken by the dust from his lotus feet, and Krishna will not forgive it. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So please chant one time Hare Krishna to thank His Grace for wonderful class. Vamsidhari Mohandas Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So we have our guest today, His Grace Barunapati Govind Das Prabhuji, and two devotees from Saudi. Prabhuji is here, so please welcome him by chanting loudly one time Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna. So today morning Bhoga main sponsors are His Grace Achyut Sri Krishna Das Prabhu and family, because on occasion of he got Harinam initiation at Mayapur from Guru Maharaj. Hari Bol. Also other sponsor is Jaideep Amil Khan.